And Western Washington was ranked 23rd at the time. They fell, but now back up to number 18 as the ball tipped. And although Garrick got the tip, the ball came into the hands of Western Washington's Rory Blanche, and here we go. The Vikings work the perimeter very well. Zach Hennepin, swing it right side to John Allen, driving down the lane, a little scoop to the hoop and no good by Richard Woodworth, and the rebound comes to Garrick. Here come the Wolves out of the backcourt. With the ball, Whedon, left-hand side to Long. Looking inside, pop out to Jordan Freelander, just underway here. Opening minute of this ball game. Freelander drives to Garrick left side. Looks to get the ball outside to Long. He'll drive, pull up a little runner, missed it, taps it back up and in. That's called staying with it. Long got it partially blocked, but he put it up and down, and the Wolves up 2-0, and they come out with a little half-court trap. Bounce pass to the left-hand side. Woodworth with the basketball to John Allen. Now on top to Blanche. Inside they go with the big fella down on the post. Shot is no good, but the follow by Woodworth. Rolls around, doesn't go. Inside again with it is Chris Mitchell, and then a foul going to be called against Western Oregon. And that'll be on Jordan Freelander. So some extra shots on goal benefit the Vikings here. And they'll go to the line with a chance to tie it up with 18:56 left here in this first half of play. At the line, the first free throw is down for Chris Mitchell. Next free throw, up and down for Mitchell. And Mitchell, who's averaging about 7.5 points a game, gets the Vikings on the board. Tied at 2. Freelander, the ball to Long, drive the lane, puts it up with the left hand and rolled it down. Kyle Long with the first 4 points for Western Oregon, and it's 4-2. Out of the backcourt with the basketball come the Vikings. Drive left wing, a shot put up and no good. The tap, though, up and down for Zach Hennepin, the senior out of Bellingham. Ties it at 4. Freelander with the ball, right side, drive the lane, puts a runner up in the plate. That one didn't go, and the rebound comes down to Blanche for Western Washington. Chance for them to take the lead. 18-10 and counting left here in the opening half. 4-4 Western Oregon and Western Washington. Glad you could join us tonight, live and streaming. Driving on the right wing, shot is put up but blocked. Blanche tried to get it to the well, and Garrick knocked it, pinned it rather, to the glass. And then out of bounds, the ball knocked away by the Vikings on the outlet, and it'll be Western Oregon basketball. So a good play against Corey Blanche. He's the leading scorer and the leading rebounder for the Vikings, averaging 16.5 and 7.2 respectively in those categories. Long with the ball, left wing, pull-up jumper for 3. That ball skipped across the rim, no good. And the rebound to Rory Blanche out of Ashland High School in Southern Oregon. Woodward with the ball, swing it right side, shot put up and down. 4-3 by Chris Mitchell. And Western Washington with their first lead at 7-4. Long with the ball. The Freelander right side, Jamal Veal and Brandon Troxel will check in for Western Oregon. Drive right side, Whedon, bounce pass underneath, got it to Garrick, but a good strip under the bucket by John Allen, and out of bounds it goes. So here come Troxel and Veal. Sitting down will be Freelander and Colton Nelson. The ball inbounded, Long with it, drive the lane, puts up the runner and puts it down. All 6 points belong to Kyle Long. The old cliche about feeling it, well, he's feeling it here tonight. He's shooting early and often, and it's 7-6. Right side with the basketball is Hennepin. Had the ball knocked away. Whedon very nearly had a steal, but John Allen controlled it. He's got it back. Left side pass underneath the extra pass goes into the big fella down on the blocks, Chris Mitchell, and he puts it off the glass and down. Mitchell looking smooth early, and it's 9-6 as the Vikings with the 3-point lead. Coming in here momentarily for the Wolves will be Brian McGill. Whedon drive down the middle of the lane. Stop, bounce pass. Veal had the shot blocked and out of bounds. Shot clock at 16. As Mitchell will come in for Kyle, and Veal will come back out for the Wolves as they'll set up with some backcourt pressure. A 2-2-1 was the setup, and now they back out of it, and over the top, the ball goes to Mitchell on the right side. Bounce pass inside, it goes to Blanche. He puts up the shot. I believe, yeah, he put it down. Official stepped right in front of me as he put it up. We are tied at 11. Approaching the 14-minute mark here in the first half. Whedon with the ball, right wing, gets a step, but then gets some help along the baseline. Western Washington, long with the ball, down to Nelson. Handles the ball on the block's left side. He looks to go in, up and under, and he got Mitchell in the air and put it up with the left hand and down. They're going to keep going to the big foul. It's 13-11. Wolves in their last ball game, Blair Whedon had only 4 points in that game against Seattle Pacific. And so far in this ball game, he's got a couple. Long drives down the lane, gets past his man, gets it underneath to Nelson. The extra pass is a good one as Roy Blanche win in the air, and Nelson with back-to-back buckets makes it 15-11. 13-15 left here in the opening half. With the basketball, Woodworth now for Western Washington. Swing it right side to John Allen. Allen back to Woodworth. Working against Brian McGill. Drive left wing, and a blocking foul going to go against McGill. He didn't quite have the position, but he was playing up inside the jersey of Woodworth. That'll be a non-shooter. Western Oregon with 14 fouls in the half so far. Western Washington yet to draw a whistle. The ball inbounded, and into the ball game now is Rico Wilkins, 6-foot junior out of Dallas, Texas, and a transfer from Yakima Valley Junior College. Drive on the wing, left side, Blanche. Double clutches, got two men in the air and put it down. McGill. Inbounds to Whedon, and now back to Bryan, who will run the offense. Freelander back out on the floor for the Wolves as well. With the ball, Whedon looks to drive down the lane, has no shot. Kick it back out to Kyle Long. Ball down on loose on the floor. Kyle has to come up with it. Gets the ball to McGill. Down to 15 on the shot clock. Swing it left side, Freelander. Fakes a man, goes baseline, drive, put up the shot, and boy, there was no foul call. Wow, that was a tough non-call. And the rebound comes to Western Washington. I thought there was going to be a whistle there too. Left wing shot put up and down, drained by Roy Blanche. And we are tied at 15. Whedon with the basketball for the Wolves. And a reach-in foul. Going to go against Zach Hennepin. That is the first foul of this first half for Western Washington, 8 minutes into it. Gehrig will come back in now for Western Oregon. He will replace Brian McGill, so the Wolves go a little bit bigger. There's now be Nelson and Gehrig on the blocks. Whedon, Freelander, and Long on the floor. They're starting five back out. Get the ball down to Nelson. Double team. Bounce pass back out. Whedon back to Nelson. He puts it up with the left hand. The shot won't go. Gehrig got racked. No call. Down on the floor. The ball comes to Western Washington, but Rico Wilkins stepping over the top of Nelson traveled with the basketball. Timeout on the floor. 11:42 left here in the first half. Western Oregon 15. Western Washington 15. Back after the Long with the ball. Drive left wing, boys. A lot of the bump fouls not being called. Troxel with the ball. Pass outside to McGill, looking inside to Nelson. And the ball goes to him. Colton gonna drive in himself. Back in, nothing there. Go to McGill, he drives the lane. Back out to Colton. Swing it in the corner, Long for three. Big bucket for Western Oregon. Again, the extra pass. And it's 23-20. 7 minutes to go here in the half. Allen with the basketball. Right side to Paul Jones. Jones, left-handed pull-up jumper, in and out, no good. Freelander, the rebound for the Wolves. Chance to tie it up with a three. McGill brings it out of backcourt. 6:45 to go here in the half. 23-20, Western Washington. Nelson with the ball on the high post. Hand the ball back to Long. Drive up and under move. Free throw line area jumper, and he drills it. 1 point game now, 23-22. Jamal Field will check in momentarily for the Wolves. A couple of Western Washington players down to our left as well. Allen with the basketball, driving against Long. Back out, drive the lane, pull up, and his pass out of bounds. Pass was to Paul Jones, but he was... Also, McGill will come out. And Kyle Long is in. Ball inbounded to Long on the right wing. Drive down the middle of the lane, reverses the shot up and down. Boy, he has been the money man in this game where everybody else has struggled. He is now 6 of 8 from the field. And it's 29-24. Back in at center now is Chris Mitchell for Western Washington. Backing way out is John Allen. Junior out of Briar, Washington, Mount Lake Terrace, and a transfer from Washington State. He puts up the shot, left that one short, and the rebound to Gehrig, and the outlet to Whedon. 3:45 left here in the half. 29-24 Western Washington. Nelson with the ball. That ball died as far as the bounce pass went. They reset. Now to Gehrig on the blocks on the right side. Spin, put the ball up and down. Good play is a little bit of a mismatch against Paul Jones, who is 6'4". And it's 29-26. The Wolves change up defense a little bit. Rico Wilkins with the ball. Gets it underneath, and forcing that shot up and in was Chris Mitchell. Mitchell had 7 early. He now has 9 in the game with that bucket. 31-26. Lob pass over the top. Nelson down under the blocks. He was a little out of position. Puts up the shot. I don't know why there was no foul call. He got 2 men in contact. And the rebound comes to Western Washington. Pass down the floor. He shot by Thorpe, blocked by Blair Whedon. And here come the Wolves. Blair with the basketball from Freelander. Right side, pass inside, gets it to Nelson. And he puts it up and down over Wilkins. And it's 31-28. The assist to Blair Whedon. 2:35 left here in the first half. Wolf down 3. Allen drive the lane, gives the ball up, but Long with the save. The ball came right to Allen. Wolves couldn't corral it, and he put it up and in. It was a good play by Long, but the return pass as he's falling out of bounds, he couldn't get to it. Whedon with the ball. Now down in the blocks to Nelson. Says, am I going to take Wilkins on? Yes, I will. Drive, jump hook. The shot, just didn't go. And then a foul against Gehrig as he tried to rip the ball away from Dane Thorpe. And a timeout on the floor. 2:05 as they have shot just 38.7% from the floor on 12 of 31. Much more efficient, 13 of 26 for 50% rather for Western Washington, and the Wolves being outgunned from the outside. 5 of 5 are the Vikings from outside the arc, just 2 of 8 for the Wolves. 33-28, and Western Washington trying to get their biggest lead of the night, led by as many as 6. Can go up 7 or 8 here. Shot with the ball, Allen. Swing it right side. He thought about the shot, get it into the corner, and the shot put up for a long 2 by Paul Jones. And it's a 7-point lead with 1:33 left here. First half, Freelander with the basketball. Jordan looks for a cutter. Here comes Long. Can't get it to him. Now to Whedon. Back to Long, left side. Go down into the blocks again to Nelson. He's had a couple of shots. Good looks haven't gone. Hooks it underneath Gehrig. He puts it off the glass. No good. And the rebound comes down to Western Washington, and a timeout called by the Western Washington bench on the 13.5-minute mark. Allen will bring it up for Western Washington. Up by 7. Allen with the ball, right side. He's going to drive the lane, pull up and under, gets the ball outside. Shot for 3 from the corner, left side, and it's a 10-point lead. A well-designed play as a shot put down by Cameron Severson into the ball game, and a 30-second timeout by Western Oregon. We'll take the break with 50.2 left here in the first half. 38-28, Western Washington. You're tuned to Wolves basketball. Western Oregon inbounds, and Blair Whedon waits for the ball to roll up near midcourt and then picks it up to give him enough clock time. He drives all the way, puts up the shot and down. Boy, the Red Sea parted down in the middle, and Chris Mitchell just had to watch him because he didn't have a chance. 35 seconds left. Drive with the ball is Allen. Gives the ball up. The pass knocked away by the Wolves, and Freelander comes up with it. 6 turnovers now for Western Washington. The Wolves going to play for the final shot as the clock is off. Down by 8 at 38-30. Whedon out on top, being shadowed by Paul Jones. Down to 8 seconds. Blair drive, put up the shot, and there's no foul call. It looked like somebody got an arm. Here comes Western Washington. Drive, shot put up from the corner by Jones at the horn. And a big exclamation point for Western Washington. Games down in the much warmer and sunnier climate, although in the last few days they could have played some baseball. The Wolves will begin their schedule in March here at home. Boy, you read my mind. And the first game at home in Monmouth against Northwest Nazarene on March the 9th. Yeah, it's a doubleheader. On March, actually 4 games it appears. Doubleheaders on the 9th and the 10th against Northwest Naz. Blair Whedon with the basketball as things get started. Called for a foul on the offensive set. And the Wolves turn it over here early. And here comes Western Washington with the basketball. Driving on the left wing is Richard Woodworth. Now kick it around right side, inside. The ball passed off by Rory Blanche to Zach Hennepin, and Hennepin makes it a 13-point lead, the largest of this ball game, at 43-30. Freelander with the ball for the Wolves, drive the lane, goes all the way, puts up the shot, and he's fouled. And I'm pretty certain the Wolves coaching staff talked a little bit to the officials about contact inside, and didn't see many of those fouls in the first half. Here's one early, and here's Jordan Freelander. Now if you're going to get him, you got to make your free throws. Freelander on the line. It's the first. Jordan, who's been starting as of late, is averaging 7.5 points a game. Brandon Troxel will come in now for Colton Nelson in an early spell here with 19-19 left here in this ball game. Second free throw is down for Freelander. It's 43-31. Jordan now with 2 points in the game. And the Wolves put on a little backcourt pressure. A little bit of a zone press, and they back out of it. Woodworth with the basketball out on top against Long. Drive on the right wing, double team. Swinging around the left side with the ball. Allen, he's been red hot from 3, and he continues. He is now 4 for 4 out there. And it's 46-32. The transfer from Washington State making the Wolves pay, and it's 46-32. And with the ball, Whedon to Freelander. Fakes, drives down the lane, goes all the way, put up the shot, had it partially blocked underneath by Chris Mitchell. And here comes Allen for Western Washington, ranked number 18 in the country. The Wolves have given them their only conference loss, a 10-point win up at Western Washington back the first part of January. Bounce pass along the baseline. Ball knocked out of bounds, Kyle Long and Gehrig there. And Western Washington will inbound underneath their glass with 18:25 left in the contest. 46-32 Western Washington. Pass goes inside now to Mitchell. Kick it back out to Allen, who has been deadly out there, and Whedon on him way out beyond the arc. Now a switch, Rory Blanche with the ball, Whedon. Allen trying to get around Troxel, pass, give it up with 1 on the shot clock, and a big high-arcing shot by Richard Woodworth. And it's now a 16-point lead, and that's a tough bucket because the Wolves have played such good defense. Gehrig fakes a pass, throws up the mini hook, and he gets the room for it to go down, and it's a 14-point lead. Here comes Allen, drives all the way, tried to whip the pass inside. The Wolves block the pass. It comes back to Allen, and he's standing out of bounds. Troxel will come out. Freelander will come out. Chris White is in for Western Oregon. And Brian McGill, who will handle the basketball. To Long, pop out to Whedon. Swing it right side to McGill, inside to Gehrig. Working against Mitchell. Drive into the lane, put it up with a left hand, and he got it to go. 48-36. Lead cut down to a dozen. 17:25 and counting left in the ball game. Woodworth with the ball. Allen. Now going to play a little clock now as Western Washington. They slow the pace a little bit with the double-digit lead. And an offensive foul going to be called against Western Washington on Zach Hennepin.
Swung elbow.
That'll be Wolves basketball. Brady Bergeson wanted a flagrant for an elbow thrown, but officials say nope.
All right.
There was 17-12 left here in the half, or in the ball game. Western Washington with the offensive foul now, 8 turnovers in the game. With the ball, Whedon on the right side. Drive along the baseline, kick it into the corner, left side long, and he stepped on the far sideline and out of bounds. Ow, yay, yay. 17:01 left here. Something similar happened up at Seattle Pacific when the Wolves had an opportunity to win that ball game late. Blair Whedon got bumped off of his dribble and stepped out of bounds. The Wolves had to settle for a last-second shot by Kyle Long. Long with the basketball. Comes after the tip by Whedon. He lays it up and one. And that was an outstanding play. As the ball tipped by Whedon, Long tried to go up to get it. He ended up facing forward against the defender, turned back around to get to the ball, laid it up, and a foul called on Allen. And a chance for a three-point play for Kyle Long, who has been the offense for the Wolves here in this ball game so far. He's got 15 and had the free throw for 16. 48-39, and they lead down to single digits. Wolves looking for a good second half after struggling, hoping that Western Washington will cool off after shooting 50%, including a perfect 7 for 7 from beyond the arc. Still haven't missed out there. With the ball, Blanche, drive baseline, pull-up jumper. He misses everything, and a late foul. And that'll put Blanche on the line to shoot a couple, and that's the correct call. White on the follow-through did slap the arm, and Blanche will go to the line. Roy with 8 points in the game. Again, he's the leading scorer at 16.5 points a contest for the Vikings. And the first free throw is down. 10-point lead at 49-39. 16:28 left here in the contest. Western Oregon at 7-4. And Western Washington at 9-1. Wolves inbound against some backcourt pressure. McGill will bring the ball up against Rico Williams, comes past him. And now the Wolves will set the offense with Whedon going to run the attack for now. Too long, shoot for three. Doesn't get it. The ball off the hands of Western Washington. And grabbing it to make the throw was Hennepin, and he threw it off of Chris White. Blocked for just a second there. Saw that ball ricochet in, and it will be Western Washington ball again, up 11 now. And the ball driven by Wilkins. Pass outside to the outside, and the big fella Mitchell didn't get the shot to go, but the rebound from Rory Blanche and a fist bump as he puts the ball back up and in, and it's 52-39. Jordan Freelander looking to come back in for Western Oregon. Driving left side is Whedon. Pop out to McGill, now driving long. Along the baseline, got it inside to White. He lost the ball, got it back. Had the shot blocked, and the Wolves still asking for fouls down in the paint, not going to get it. Back the other way comes Wilkins. Had the ball knocked out of there, and White comes up with a loose basketball. Here comes Western Oregon. Whedon with the ball. Drive into the corner to McGill. McGill drive, pass over the top of the defense, down to Long, now down to White. He drives against Blanche, little jump hook and puts it down. Rattled it through the rim, and it's an 11-point game at 52-41. Approaching 15 minutes to go here in the second half of play. The Wolves put on a little backcourt trap. Western Washington does break the press, and with the ball is Hennepin. Drive, the ball knocked away by McGill. Whedon with the basketball. Gets back, going to show the ball, puts it up and puts it down, and he runs into the camera down underneath, and no foul call as he got bumped. It's 52-43. The lead back down to 9 again. We'll have a media timeout at the next dead ball. Driving, a shot put up, and no good. Oh, the basketball is gonna go to the offense. Just hasn't been firing away. Gehrig makes 1 of 2. The Wolves now 6 of 7 from the line, 5 of 6 for Western Washington. The lead is now 9 at 53-44. Blanche with the ball extended right side against Gehrig. Now into the paint, Hennepin drive, kick it back out. Wilkins, shot put up by Woodworth for 3, and there's another one. 9 of 10. 9 of 10 from beyond the arc for Western Washington, 56-44. Whedon drive the lane, kick it outside to Freelander. Not a shot there. Long fakes, pull-up jumper, left elbow, shot won't go. Gehrig tries to control, and the ball comes down to Hennepin. Here comes Wilkins out of the backcourt. Whedon with a near steal, and then Gehrig reaches in, and pretty easy foul to call there with 12:54 left. Colton Nelson will come in, Gehrig will come out. Veal will come in for Chris White for Western Oregon as well.
Also checking in for the Vikings, number 11, Paul Jones.
And back in now for Western Washington is junior Paul Jones, wearing number 11. The ball inbounded by Western Washington, non-shooting foul. Jones with the ball right side. Pull-up jumper baseline, and oh, he drained that over the top of Kyle Long. Boy, did he feel that one.
Hey,
Jones, the transfer from Whatcom Community College.
right here.
And it's 58-44. Driving right wing is Whedon, goes around the screen the other direction and takes it to the glass and down. Not enough of those shots going down for the Wolves or for Whedon. He puts it in, but a steal by Blair underneath the bucket, and that helps a bit back to a 10-point lead. His back-to-back buckets for Blair at point-blank range. And it's 58-48. Freelander out on Rico Wilkins. Wolves looking for a 5-second call. Don't think there was one. Now down to the floor. The ball comes out. Shot put up by Woodworth, and there's another 3. 10 of 11. Oh my goodness, are they ever going to miss out there? 61-48. Freelander with the ball on the right side as Brady Bergerson calls out the play. He'll drive left side, pick and roll. No go to Long. Now down to Nelson on the blocks. Double team, put up the shot and put it down. He got Blanche in the air. Coming over to help out was Mitchell, but too little too late. And it's 61-50. 11.5 to go here in the ball game. The ball, Whedon knocked the ball in the air, and then he said he stepped out of bounds as he tried to tip it back in. That'll bring us to immediate time. And to be honest, that's been the difference in this contest. Western Oregon trailing at 61-50. Wolves have forced 13 turnovers in this ball game and only given up 3, but I'll tell you, the volume of shots from beyond the arc have just been absolutely amazing for Western Washington. With the ball, Rico Williams now off the inbound. Out on top to Jones, a reset to Woodworth. Woodworth drive, bounce pass outside, and the shot put up by the big fella Chris Mitchell. That's down. 11 of 12. That'll be the lead in this ball game if the Vikings hold on for the win at 64-50. Driving, Whedon all the way to the bucket. Didn't get a foul call, but Nelson was there to follow and put it up and in. And it's 64-52. Woodworth with the basketball. Across the timeline to Paul Jones. Back to Woodworth. A little bit of pushing and shoving underneath is Chris Mitchell now up against Long off the switch, but Whedon picks off the basketball in the lane for the Wolves. And a foul going to go against Chris Mitchell as he was bumping down the floor with either Long or with Nelson. That's 2 on him. That's now 5 team fouls on Western Washington. The Wolves with 4, and the ball inbounded to Freelander from Long right in front of us. Jordan going to drive the lane, kick it outside Veal. He's got the long shot and buries it. Again, a lot of bumping underneath the bucket. And it's now a 10-point game at 64-54 as Veal connects. Rico Wilkins, right side to Blanche. Blanche pop out to Woodworth. Woodworth now down in the paint to Mitchell. His shot looked like it was a lot pass, and the Wolves come up with it. I glanced down for just a second. I'm not sure he really shot that basketball, and the Wolves come back up with it. 14 turnovers for Western Washington, 3 for the Wolves. Drive the lane. Freelander gets it down to Nelson. Doubled up along the baseline, had no place to go. Back out to Long. Kyle going to drive. He had Freelander for a minute, gave down the lane, and a late whistle and a correct call on a foul, and a little bit of a Bronx cheer from the Wolves fans here. Think that there have been entirely too few whistles in this ball game, and on the line will go Kyle Long. Long on the line, leading the way with 16 points, but he's been silent for a bit. And the first free throw is down. It felt like it was out at the Masters there for a second as it got dead quiet. 64-55, one more coming for Kyle Long, the senior out of McMinnville. Couple of dribbles, that ball in the air and down and good for Kyle Long. And he has 18 points in the game. Dan Young into the ball game, and coming out is Chris Mitchell. And here comes the three-point specialist, John Allen for Western Washington, back into the ball game. Allen with 14 points and 4 of 4 from beyond the arc. 64-56 with 9:20 left in the ball game. Wolves not out of it yet, but they need a couple of stops. Allen drive, had the ball stripped away. Freelander down on the floor, coming up with it is Long. He drives, goes all the way, lays it up and in. Veal was there. He was waiting to see who would commit. Woodworth didn't come until late, and a timeout called by Western Washington. We'll take a break with 9:06 left here in the ball game. 64-58 Vikings. You're tuned to Western Oregon basketball. And a couple of easy buckets has cut the Western Washington lead, which has been as big as 16, is now just 6. Wolves have not led in this ball game since about 13 and a half minutes to go in the first half. Still got a ways to go here, and see what the Vikings bring out of the timeout. Woodworth with the basketball to Allen as they'll spread the floor here a little bit. Wolves have done a good job of collapsing in the paint, leading to the turnovers. Jones with the ball. Double team, swing it out to Allen, right side. Oh, is he open three? And he hits it again. Oh my goodness. Veal would drop down. It's what he needed to do, but had to come out, and that ball was a good shot, a good 4 or 5 feet beyond the arc. 67-58. Allen continues his torrid shooting. 5 of 5 from beyond the arc now for 17 points. Whedon drive the lane, nothing there. Long fakes a three, gets it outside to Veal. He'll shoot that rock. It's no good, but he follows. He rebounds, and oh, they're going to call a foul on it. Oh, man, that was a tough call. Right in front of the Wolves bench. They're going to say Veal, and that's probably because he extended the elbow a little bit. Picks up the foul against Richard Woodworth. That is just the 4th turnover against the Wolves. 67-58. Woodworth with the basketball to Jones, across the timeline. To approach 8 minutes to go. Allen with the ball. Out of Woodworth, right side to Zach Hennepin. Hennepin dribble, out top Jones, driving. Kick it outside. Hennepin in the corner to Allen. Back to Hennepin. He'll drive. Goes all the way. Had the ball shot blocked, but a late whistle. And the foul will go against Colton Nelson. They'll be shooting free throws when we come back with 5 points in the game. And the second does go down, and it's now a 10-point game. Wolves, if they can find the field, find a shot from the field here. They had a small flurry last couple of minutes. They certainly can pull off a win here, close it out at the end. Driving down the lane, Long bounces it off the glass, and that ball just about popped out but went down, and it's 68-60. Wolves averaging about 69 points a game. Western Washington averages nearly 84, so this game has been slowed a little bit more to their pace. With the ball, Hennepin gets the ball down underneath to Dan Young, and he jammed it. Wolves tried to bring some help in the back door cut by Young right there at the rim. Makes it 70-60. 7 minutes to go. Ball intended for Garrett. The ball saved but thrown out of bounds by Hennepin, who ran right into our table. If you heard me, oof, that was the table going into my solar plexus. Ay, ay, ay. That's why it's on rollers. Well, Western Oregon will inbound in the backcourt. Jordan Freelander will come in. Brandon Troxel will come in. Nelson will sit down. McGill will sit down. Under 7 minutes to go, and the Western Oregon Wolves down 10. Whedon gonna drive the lane, pulls back as he gets doubled up. Swing it right side to Freelander. Pop out to Long. Kyle, bounce pass into the blocks to Gehrig. Driving in the middle of the paint. His shot didn't go. Battle for it, and the ball comes down to Western Washington. Gehrig, the foul, and he knew it.
Fouls on number 33, James Gehrig.
Well, Chris White will come in. Gehrig with his third personal foul. Make that his fourth personal foul, his fourth. So on the line will be Woodworth. Richard Woodworth, his first attempts at the line, has 8 points in the game, and that ball, oh brother, it bounced around 2 or 3 times and dropped down. It's been that way tonight for Western Oregon. The bounces haven't gone their way. Western Washington has had plenty, plus 12 of 13 from beyond the arc. My goodness gracious, second free throw is good. I think the Miami Heat could shoot it that well from out there. 72-60. Back to a 12-point bulge for Western Washington. Freelander, left side to Blair Whedon, gets a pick from Troxel, comes around, 3-point shot, and that's no good. Rebound to John Allen. Again, Brady Bergeson a little upset by the contact that's not being called. Drive on the right wing. The Wolves force a turnover. Long comes up with it. There's a little confusion by Western Washington. White came down the lane and he left a shot short. Brother, it's just been that way. Ball very nearly stolen. Allen down the floor. Jones pass underneath. There are 2 men there for Western Washington. Guess what? They collided as there was a reverse layup there, but 2 guys there driving. Freelander threw up the shot. Are they going to give him the 2-shot foul? It's going to be the question. They're going to say yes, 2 shots. John Allen with the call. Wolves are going to shoot anyway, as both teams, by the way, in the bonus at 7 fouls apiece. But now Freelander with a couple of important charity stripe attempts here. And the first drops down. 5:40 left here in the ball game. 72-61. Freelander with 1 more. And that one is in the bucket and good. All of his points have come from the free throw line. And it's back to a 10-point game. The Wolves again put on a little backcourt pressure. Brady Bergeson opened to force something here, and they just wants to get some shots to fall. Driving the lane was Hannafin, and went off of the leg of a Wolf and out of bounds. Wolves now 2 of 11 from beyond the arc at 18%. Their shooting percentage hanging around 44%, 25 of 57. Western Washington at 60%. They've improved from the 50% at halftime. Allen drive the lane, kick it outside. Hennepin for 3. That shot no good, but the ball rebounded up and in by Dan Young, the big 6'10 senior. And it's 74-62. Long with the ball. Right side, Whedon, his shot for 3 is down. Boy, the Wolves need a few more of those. Just their 3rd three-pointer on 12 attempts. But that helps a bit, and it's 74-65. 4:45 to go. In the corner, Hennepin drive. Give it up underneath. And the ball saved off of the big body of Dan Young by Blair Whedon. It was coming off of him. Whedon, though, was going full tilt towards the far sideline. And he had the presence of mind to throw it back off of the 6'10 post. And the Wolves with the ball. Freelander, right side, Whedon. There's a 3-pointer. His shot is good. That's 2 in a row. And a timeout on the floor called by Western Washington. The lead back down to 6 with 4:26 left in. Ouch. We saw that team down here, and boy, they are a force. Here at 74-68, Western Washington over Western Oregon. But the Wolves, again, have cut down the big double-digit lead to just 6. The ball very nearly stolen by the Wolves. Woodworth tried to dunk. He missed. Shot no good. 2 shots no good. And the Wolves with the rebound. And with the ball is long, he drives all the way and puts it up and in. Boy, there were 3 shots on goal there for Western Washington, and they couldn't get it to go, and the Wolves in a press. 74-70, under 4 minutes to go. Don't you go away, folks. In the Wolves with some backcourt pressure against Woodworth. To Allen, in the corner to Jones. Again, they've got that 3-point shooting that has bailed them out much of the night. Allen with the ball against Troxel on a switch. Allen, high post to Hennepin. Hennepin now with the ball. Drive, left wing, puts up the shot. Oh, they're going to call foul. And Blair Whedon says an elbow was thrown. Not going to get the call, but the foul is going to go against Troxel. And immediate timeout by as many as 16 Western Washington, that is. That came early in the second half of play. Hennepin on the line hits the first free throw. One more coming for him. 75-70. Western Washington, and the second shot also down. Whedon will receive the ball in the backcourt for Western Oregon. He's on the floor with Freelander, Chris White, Troxel, and Kyle Long. Given the pick is Troxel, right side Whedon. Into the corner, Freelander. Pop out on top to Kyle Long. 3:10 left. The Wolves want to make sure they work for a good shot. Long fakes the pass, puts up the shot, and he got glass, a little bit of iron, and the ball to Western Washington. Well, that was a tough break there for the Wolves, not getting some points here. Allen with the basketball. The ball stolen away by Long on the pass. He drives, and that ball knocked away by Allen and out of bounds. 2:49 left. 32 on the shot clock for the Wolves off the steal. Whedon will look to get the ball inbound as Gehrig will come back in. He's be playing with 4 fouls. Now Long with the ball against Allen way out left side. Drive the lane, puts it up, and he got it. Whack, no call, gets the ball back, gets it to White, and a foul, and that's going to go against Chris Mitchell. Good pass by Long in traffic, and now big free throws now for Chris White. That's 3 on Mitchell. And here is White. 2 points in the game, 1 of 6 from the floor. His first shots from the charity stripe. And the first free throw, off to the right, no good. Another free throw coming. That ball in the air, and it didn't go. It hung on the rim, but did not go down, and the rebound to Western Washington. Woodworth with the basketball against Kyle Long. 2.5 minutes to go. 6-point lead for Western Washington. Again, the Wolves beat them in Bellingham in January by 10. Ball very nearly turned over. Allen has the ball stolen. White comes over with a foul against Allen. That's a good foul, because if Chris could have gotten it out to Blair Whedon, that would have been a breakaway layup. Now, Chris White has to go to the line again to shoot. He missed 2. He says, I'm going to get this one in. Again, he's had shoulder issues for the Wolves.
Checking in for the game, number 3, Rico Wilkins.
And they may sub him out, but Western Washington will probably get to choose who shoots the free throws.
You got a separated shoulder.
No. And that's being explained right now as the shooter will be chosen for the Wolves by Western Washington. Okay, Gehrig's going to come in. All right, and now we're waiting to see who. All right, So they're going to put Troxel on the line to shoot. To be honest, Troxel's not a bad free throw shooter. He has not shot them tonight, but he's usually a pretty good free throw shooter for the Wolves. I'm going to try to sneak a peek at his numbers. And that free throw is down. That didn't work. Second free throw, also good for Brandon Troxel. He shoots 67%, not as good as I thought, but normally he shoots them pretty well, and he did there, and it's a 4-point game. And the Wolves again with some backcourt pressure. Pass very nearly knocked away by Long, but Woodworth comes up with it at midcourt. Working against Freelander. Drive, kick it around the corner, rotate to the shooting guard Rico Wilkins. Back out to Woodworth. With the ball, Woodworth going to drive, get the ball inside, and no shot taken. Instead, the shot for three is no good. The shot blocked by Gehrig as Woodworth came up with the miss-off by Chris Mitchell, and a timeout called by Western Oregon, and a 4-point game, and now a chance at 72. Western hasn't had a lead since almost midway through the first half of play. And since then, Wolves have been trying to play their way back into it. They've done a good job defensively, and Western Washington, who was shooting at one point 100% from the three-point arc, down to 80%. With the ball, down to 9 seconds left in the quarter. Shot was put up by Wheaton, no good, but Gehrig puts it back up and in. It's a 2-point game. 76-74. Western Oregon down just a deuce. And the Wolves will see at least one more possession. Woodworth with the basketball. Driving, lowering that shoulder against Freelander. Into the post to Rory Blanche, and a ball knocked out of bounds by Western Oregon. Allen, who stepped out for a moment, back in now for Western Washington. And Allen, you got to watch. He's 5 for 5 from beyond the arc. 17 points. The ball inbounded to Allen against Blair Whedon. Down to 10 seconds now on the shot clock. Allen comes around to Pitt, puts up the shot for three. It's no good. Whedon knocks the ball away, tries to save it, misses it off a Western Washington player, and Blanche with the ball. With 39 seconds. And it's going to be Viking basketball. 33 on the shot clock. They're trying to talk about the shot clock with 39. Come back and come back and come back, and fighting against their own poor shooting. Phenomenal shooting by Western Washington in this ball game, and they're just down a deuce. Western Washington probably going to play down this shot clock as far as they can go. Up by 2 at 76-74. Wolves should get the ball back, provided they can control a rebound. As Allen with the basketball against Freelander. 20 seconds left on the clock. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Driving with the ball. Woodworth, bounce pass, get the ball under, and a ball rebounded. It's no good, and a miss, also no good. The Wolves with the ball with 10 seconds to go. Driving down the lane. Alone, he lays it up and in. With 4.7 left on the clock. And we're tied at 76. And the fans go nuts here at Western Oregon. The Wolves on a 14-2 run, and they have come all the way back, and Western Washington with a timeout. We'll take one as well. 4.7 seconds left. Western Oregon 76, Western Washington 76. You're tuned to Wolves basketball. Western Washington missed a couple of point-blank shots on goal at their end. With approximately 15 seconds to go, Western Oregon comes out of the pack with 10 seconds left. Kyle Long with 26 points in the game. His last bucket, the biggie, to tie this baby up at 76. The ball inbounded. Jones with the ball at midcourt. Throws up the shot. It's no good. 2 seconds, one, and Jones misses what would have been the game winner. And we are going to overtime. Oh my goodness. That Jones just about put it down at the horn on his follow shot. But the Wolves come back from the big deficit, and now we'll get a fresh 5 minutes on the clock. We'll take a break. Western Oregon 76. Western Washington 76. You're tuned to Wolves basketball. We go to overtime here at the new Physical Education Building in Monmouth, Oregon. Western Oregon and Western Washington tied at 76. The Wolves force the OT after being down by as many as 16. But Western Washington will start with the basketball off the opening tip. And with the basketball is Hannafin. He drives a lane, throws up a wild shot. Oh, they're going to call a blocking foul. Oh my goodness. Hannafin got bailed out by the foul call in the lane as he leaned in over the top of Jordan Freelander, and he'll go to the line to shoot some free throws here. And on the line, Hannafin misses the first. Hannafin with 8 points in the game. Second free throw is good, and it's 77-76. With the ball, Long on the left wing for the Wolves. Freelander drive the lane, or excuse me, Wheaton, his shot rolls in. He got up high, that ball hung on the rim, but the Wolves up 78-77, their first lead since the first half. As shot put up by Allen from the outside, it's no good. Rebound Gehrig, and he just about lost his face as he pulled that one in. And here come the Wolves. Chance to extend their lead. They led by 4 way back 13 minutes to go in the first half. Driving down the lane, Wheaton puts it up and in. And Western Oregon up 80-77 as we're under 4 minutes to go here in the overtime. With the ball, Woodworth for Western Washington. Wolves trying to step up the defensive notch as Gehrig against Woodworth. He forces up a shot. No, if that's a foul on Gehrig, it is. That'll be his 5th, and he'll be done.
Fouls number 33, James Gehrig.
That's a tough call against him. I have to tell you, it was hard to tell whether there was any, if there was a hand on the man. But a good play by Woodworth to kind of scissors himself forward. We'll try to check and see here with our ace stat crew. The last time the Wolves had the lead in this ball game, their biggest lead was 4 back in the first half of play. At about the 13:30 mark, I think it was 13:27 or 24. So on the line now, his team down 3 is Richard Woodworth. A free throw in the air and in the bucket and good. 80-78. Wolves with one more. Brandon Troxel. And Colton Nelson now, the two Wolves on the post, and both free throws down. And Western Oregon's lead is won at 80-79. 3.5 minutes to go in the extra period. Freelander with the ball, working against Rico Williams. Right side to Blair Whedon. He drives baseline, has no place to go. Out to Nelson, thought about the shot, had his pass knocked away. Long comes up with it. Wolves don't want to get too cautious. Down to 10 seconds on the shot clock. Long looks to drive, gets it from Nelson. Pull up, back to Colton. Outside Whedon for an NBA three. I don't know if he got the ball to the rim. I thought he did. I thought that ball grazed the rim. They're going to say no. They're going to call it a shot clock violation. It was a tough shot. I have to admit that I had the coach in front of me. It looked like it grazed the rim, but not going to get the call. Better angle for everybody else than me. Kyle Long with 26 for the Wolves, 22 for Blair Whedon, 10 for Colton Nelson. James Gehrig is fouled out with 9. And Western Washington with a chance to regain the lead now, trailing it 80-79. Woodworth with the ball. Going it to Wilkins, or excuse me, to Mitchell. Now driving the lane, Woodworth, pass underneath, and it gets to Rory Blanche. Blanche with just 14 points in the game. He averages 16 and a half. It's 81-80, and the Wolves down by a singleton. With the ball, Whedon wanted to get the ball to Nelson, but he couldn't swing the right direction off of the pick and roll. Well, they'll reset. Long with the ball. 15 on the shot clock. Long comes around a big Colton Nelson pick. Back to Colton. Out on top to Whedon. Wolves want to take a good shot in rhythm. Long looks to drive, pull-up jumper. That shot got iron, that's all. And the rebound to Rico Wilkins. Out of the backcourt he comes. His team up 1 as we approach 2 minutes to go here in the overtime. 81-80. Hennepin with the ball, way out left side. Drive, put up the shot. Oh, boy, don't know about that one. I thought Troxel got all ball, but the foul is going to be called underneath against Brandon, and that'll put Hennepin on the line to shoot a pair with 1:54 left.
Cramp.
On the line, Hennepin, who has 9 points. He now has 10.